Psychic Holistic Spotlight. I'm your host, Josie Way. My co-host tonight is Ken Demers, and our guest is Reverend Lynn Kent, who's, her list of credits is very long. Besides being a reverend, she's a psychic medium and a spiritualist medium, and has studied numerous things, one of which is Feng Shui. And she would like to bring some of that interesting information our way today.
Thank you for having me on again.
What got you started?
What got me started? Actually, you mentioned it a little while ago. Putting the toilet seat down. We used to go up to Brian's sister's house all the time, and she would say, make sure you put the toilet seat down. Don't want my money going down the drain. Make sure you put the toilet seat down. So I got a little bit interested in it, and I did a lot of reading. There's many schools of Feng Shui, and a lot of them are very, very complicated. Mm-hmm. And I found most of them want you to build your home or build your business the way it should be, in the place it should be.
Yeah.
And it's just not practical in today's world. It was done years ago for the higher echelon of the Oriental people, and that's probably why they got all this money and won all those wars when they were winning wars. But I found a couple of really easy idea books, and they worked well for me, and we gave a couple classes on it. And it's just taking what you already have and fixing up little spots. The class I do, I call Feng Shui Fixes. And some of the things are so easy, it's ridiculous. You say, like, how is it going to work? But before I get into that, I'd like to just tell people what Feng Shui actually is. And I do have notes because there is so much to remember in this, and I want to make sure you get it right, or you understand.
Or you get it all.
Yeah, you get it all. Feng Shui, which is wind, or life energy of spirit, and Shui, which is water, is the ancient Chinese art and science based on the laws that govern the flow of energy for balance, harmony, health, and prosperity. It is the creating of a positive energy where the energy, or qi, has become stagnant or stale or bad, and you want to move that around and wake it up. And some of the things you can do are so simple, like cleaning a closet, keeping passageways in your home.
You haven't seen my closets.
You see my garage right now. But just clearing, and they used to do spring cleaning all the time. Some people still do, and it's taking everything out, putting everything back in, changing the curtains, and it's based on a lot of what Feng Shui is. Clearing out, making room for the energy to move. To move. And it's a lot more than that, but that's the basis of it. If your energy is not moving, or if it's moving in lines that are too straight, it's not going to invite good energy. We had a pathway done in our yard last year, and I actually had it made curved so that the energy flows, and it actually looks prettier than it would have if it was squared off. But it actually invites the flow, and even the wind goes differently around to the backyard, and it's something that we haven't done anyway, and we said, why not try it? And it shows, and there's a few other things that I found that I have used and proven that, these foolish things do work a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
But again, it's
not
going back
foolish.
to energy. It's going back to energy.
Well-
There's 3 kinds of feng shui luck. Heaven, which is like circumstances that you were born under. I don't get into that too much because it's a lot of astrological type things. Then there's the human, your attitude. You do many shows on positive energies and how to bring that through, healing energies. That's a lot of what it's doing. Then there's the earth, the positive, negative influences that you live and work in. Many times we're not happy with the people we work with or what we're doing in our job, but we have to be there. So sometimes just changing the space you're working in may bring in better energy for you and help bring you prosperity if you have your own business. And I did make a list of do's and don'ts, which I'll get to hopefully before the end, because it seems to work very well, because some people think they're doing the right thing and they're not.
Well,
Okay.
I know some of the simple things you could do is to bring something like a plant
Yes.
into your environment.
Yes.
Bringing something like that helps improve the energy, the chi.
And you want to
of
make sure the
room.
plant has round edges.
Round edges, not sharp,
Yeah.
pointy edges.
Yeah,
Not,
and you don't want
So what do
to
you
Not
do if you're round
cacti.
cactuses?
you don't want cactus.
I'm saying, what do you do if you're round
Round.
cactuses?
But you don't want cactuses at all, especially if they have the little prickly things on it. That's like sending little daggers or little spears at people. That's what
Yeah.
the book says.
yeah.
But when you think of it,
But there are a lot of
it's
succulents
kind of like
that you can
works
use.
with common sense. You know,
Well, there's so many of them there that it would be diversified around a person.
This is true, but you don't want to send negative energy to anybody else. You want to just eliminate it from it being
that's-
sent to you.
Mirrors.
Mirrors
Mirrors
big
are
time.
used, yes.
Yeah, we will be getting to that in a second. Things to remember in Feng Shui: flow of qi or energy is to be beneficial. It should always flow in curve or wavy lines, not straight at people. Negative or sha qi is in straight lines. And you can always do something to eliminate those straight lines. Put a plant, mirror, because it'll bounce it away. Wind chimes, flutes, different things like
Yeah,
that.
the flutes are very popular.
Yeah, it's all about balance and harmony, and if you remember that, it's easy to let the energy flow really, really nicely. There's 5 elements: wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. And they're all related in 2 ways: generative and destructive. Like, you don't want to put a fire sign in a water area because that makes steam. Which may induce arguments, heat. Okay, they have a lot of little different things as to why you shouldn't do things, and sometimes it kind of makes sense. Feng Shui, when it's going positive, it reacts on your natural intuition. It helps you make better decisions. It helps you think better about things. There are many schools of Feng Shui. The one, in case anyone wants to get a book on it or anything, is the Dragon Door Feng Shui. And it's been around for quite a while, but I actually had a hard time finding it because there's a lot of older schools of Feng Shui that the books have been around longer. This is really, really very interesting, and I think it's called something about Feng Shui in 5 minutes, because you can make a change in a thing in 5 minutes. Okay, yin and yang, very important. It's not that it's a positive and negative. It's actually a balancing of the male, female, dark and light energy. Now, Ken, you spoke a second ago about the mirrors. Mirrors or any other reflective properties are very important. And it helps move the energy. It helps change the energy as well as bounce back any negative energy that's coming toward a room, a door, a person, or anything like that.
Yeah.
Now, what's the significance of the bagwas and flutes? You see people putting flutes in doorways and
Flutes,
stuff.
Flutes, many times, they're a good luck symbol, and they change the energy to a very positive.
Sound vibration, is that?
Sound vibration.
Symbolism?
And
Supposedly the energy
Yeah.
flows through
Yeah.
them.
fans, now they talk about the fans that open like this, like
Yeah.
Oriental type fans.
Just displayed there, but not moving.
Not necessarily moving, not hung up on a wall, displayed like on the
Like a
table or
flower pot.
something. Yes, because fans actually make that swoosh noise sound. But it's also the semicircle of the curve of the arch that's
Yes.
going to change the energy. Even though it's not making the sound at the time, it does, just like the flute. The flute's hanging there,
It's not making
and
a
it doesn't
sound.
make the sound. Wind chimes, to me, are your best bet.
I got about
Because-
6 of them in front of my house by accident here.
They're always making a sound. Bird feeders, the birds there are making a sound. Okay? Natural sounds are very important in Feng Shui.
Now, one feature that a lot of feng shui has is water.
Water.
They because it's one of the elements, but they try to incorporate it in many different places.
Many different
I know
things.
part of it is sound, and part
Sound,
of it
yep.
is that it's one of the elements.
One of the elements. What they like a lot is fish tanks, because it incorporates the fish, of course, which is a very money-grabbing sign in Feng Shui, and it incorporates the water. The important thing is you don't put it near a bathroom, right? Because it draws the money in. You don't want to draw the money toward the bathroom area, okay? And it should always be waist high for some reason, okay? The book explains a lot more. We don't have a lot of time to go into that now.
And we don't want to put it in the bathroom because of the old
It's going to
tradition
draw the
of
money in.
going down the drain
Right,
type thing.
exactly.
Now, here's a question for you.
Yeah.
In the old days, we had outhouses,
Right.
which were just pits with nastiness.
Right.
Nowadays, we have a water barrier that's stopping us. So does that old tradition still apply?
I believe so, because in in dream interpretation,
Okay.
and a lot of this comes from Oriental beliefs and Native American beliefs. If you dream of human waste, let's put it that way.
Okay.
It's actually a reference to building your finances. In other words, if you can consume a lot
Never heard that
and
one before.
eliminate it, you got some money coming in. Poor people can't eliminate a lot because they're not eating.
They're not consuming very
They're not
much.
consuming as much.
I
You never heard of that one?
No, I would tend to think that most people, I don't care what their economic status is, are consuming approximately the same amount.
Well, don't forget, we're looking at older energies. You said yourself, outhouses. Even the, what do they call them? The Chungking guy over there. I can't. The emperors.
Okay.
They had to use some kind of an outhouse. Even if
Well, they had
the
chamber
outhouse was
pots.
They had-
inside the palace.
They
They
had
had chamber
chamber
pots.
pots.
Yeah.
Within the building in a
Right.
separate room, and it was attended to
Yeah.
by
But for some
servants.
reason, where the water goes, wherever the water is draining out, you're not supposed to allow the fish tank or anything that's going to send the money through to be near.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, fish
Interesting.
tanks have recirculating water,
Yeah.
so that you would say
Yeah.
money would be replenished.
Exactly. Plus the fish in the
And
fish
cleansed.
tank. Yeah. Many people may have fish tanks and they find their fish die. If there's no reason why the fish are dying, like if the water pH is okay and whatever is supposed to be. They find that the fish absorb negative energy. The people, their luck is changing little by little, but then the fish are dying. And that's what's happening. The best thing they say to do is replenish the fish, and it should always be an odd number. Okay, doesn't necessarily mean it's male or female. Okay, pets are very, very lucky, no matter what kind
Especially
they are.
kitties.
Especially kitties.
The Chinese love kitties.
They actually have a cat with his hand coming up.
The lucky cat.
Yeah, the lucky cat.
Yeah,
I forget his name.
I don't know.
Pogo Pingo or something like that.
I don't tend to, I guess maybe they were. They were saying, I was just listening to something the last day or so, I think it was Cambodia or Laos, they were saying that was basically the epicenter of Oriental cats.
Probably, yeah. There's we watch a lot of cat things on TV because Brian and I foster kittens, and they
You foster kittens?
Yeah, we foster kittens.
What does that mean?
That means we take care of them until they get adopted. Do you look at little guys walking all around the house? They're so cute. And I feel they help bring in good luck.
Well, yeah.
What happens if they don't
cats
get
and dogs.
adopted?
Then we get to keep them.
How many do we have?
I have 3 of my own, and 5 babies up for adoption, and 2 teenagers.
25 unadopted ones?
Two
Five
teenagers.
5 unadopted ones. One's at the hospital right now. He's a little sick, but we're sending him healing to do well. But they have this little cat. One of the little things they say is, keep a little cat on the windowsill of your window. But his hand's got to be up or out, depending on what school of Feng Shui. It really doesn't make a difference, I found. Some of them have 2 hands up, which is also fine too. And it doesn't matter how big they are, because they sell them real big, but I have just a little one at home, and they come in different colors.
I went in a house one time, one of my neighbors, she had to have minimum 6,000 cats.
Oh, gee, no.
Statues.
That's a hard, statues, okay.
Not
Even that?
live ones.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
they were shelves full.
Did she have any real cats?
She
I don't know. I don't
doesn't know. There
remember.
were too many statues around.
Thousands of cats.
Did she have it because she believed in good luck, or she just liked statues
I think
of
she
cats?
just liked cats. And I thought that was bizarre. And then I went down, saw off the husband to do something, and I happened to look up. The whole ceiling of the sewer was golf clubs.
So she had his thing, and he had
6
his
feet
thing.
of one kind, 6 feet of another. Thousands of golf clubs.
Well, to each his own.
Yeah. We
You
talked
can always
about.
take the clubs and whack the cats. They make great
thing
bait,
they're-
by the way, if you ever want to go fishing.
No, Cat, that's terrible. Harmonious sounds. Let's get back to the feng shui. Harmonious sounds, chimes, bells. They change the energy.
Gongs.
Gongs. Yep. Color, interior. You don't want to paint a home all white, because in the Orient, white is mourning, and that brings death. Plants and flowers. You don't want to use plastic flowers. These are silk. They're okay, because plastic is a dead product. You want to keep dry flowers are fine,
silk.
and silk is fine.
Silk is
a
dead
living
caterpillars.
thing. Not really. Yeah, that's what it is.
Well, yeah.
Moving items, clocks, as long as they're in good working condition. You like the grandfather's clocks. Heavy objects to stabilize the energy if you live in a busy street, like a main road, or a street that is like near a train or a bus stop. That's a lot of movement. Heavy objects like statues, they block the energy or defect it.
These people that put in New England, where we got tons of big stones, they put them out in the front for accent pieces.
Yeah.
That's a good thing?
That's a good thing, especially if they're on a busy street.
If they're on a busy street.
You're on a busy street. Yeah, and it doesn't matter what kind of street you're on. If you feel you want to deflect your neighbor's energy, that's a good thing to do, or plant a tree
I was
there.
going to say trees also are very good.
In my particular house, I had like a jog in the back of it, And I was in a Feng Shui class, and the woman says, "Oh, this is a concern." I said, "Well, the only thing there is my rose bush, wild rose,
Yeah.
which was huge." And she says, "Oh no, that's good. It balances off the energy of the house because of the
Yeah.
jog in the house."
Yeah, that's what it does. Lights, bushes, trees, it'll balance it out. One of the things I want to touch on with people before we run too much out of time, it's very important to clean and organize your workplace. You have to make sure that it's easy to get things and touch things. In your office, select a chair that is, number one, comfortable, and position it so that your desk and your chair are not directly in front of the door. Because all that negative or positive, whatever it is, the energy is bombarding you all day. You want to be diagonal one way or the other to the door. Okay. And the same for your bed. Same for your bed.
I love the look of a bed diagonal.
Yeah.
But they take up so much room.
Not necessarily kitty corner, but on the opposite side of the doorway. You shouldn't have the bed here and the door right there. That's called feet first position, or that's how they take you out when you pass.
Okay, here's a question.
yeah.
If this was the bed and the doorway came in over here, is that good or bad?
If the bed is here and the door's over here, no, that's okay.
Coming in like,
No, because the energy is going past the bed.
okay.
You don't want, if the door was here, you don't want the
Okay.
bed right there. Okay? It kind of messes up
Now,
the flow of everything.
I remember reading many, many years ago that it makes a difference which direction your head is going in.
It does, and in some of the books that I've read, they all say something different. One of them wants you to figure out what your area is the best for your head to be. Typically, it's northeast. But others say, well, you got to find out what year you were born and what month of the dragon.
We don't
or
have a
whatever.
simple answer that we can impart to
No.
people.
The best thing to do is diagonally, whichever way you want it, this way or this way, on the opposite side of the entrance to your bedroom. You don't want it across from the doorway.
Well, I got a 3-year-old granddaughter, and normally I sleeping with my head to the west, and
Okay.
she crawls in bed with me, and we have to turn around and put our head to the foot of the bed, which is east.
Maybe that's why she's more comfortable.
I asked her why. She says, because that's what you do.
Is that what you do? Right, she's used to,
Now,
she's used to sleeping the other way.
Change the subject for a minute. I
Yeah.
think you appreciate this. We were bouncing, right? She
Okay,
gets
yeah.
on my knees and we bounce off.
Yeah.
right? And she got up and she walked at the side of the bed over towards the doorish, and she says, "What's that?" And she walked a couple of feet more and turned around and looked. "What is that, Grandpa?" And she walked around the other side of my knees and looked at it again, and she says, "It's gone." And then she curled up underneath my arm. Whatever it was,
Yeah.
kind of scared her.
Get
She
it a
saw
little bit.
something that
She saw
wasn't there.
And you didn't see it. Yeah. 3 years
But
old.
you as a medium, I had to throw it
Yeah,
out
3
there.
years old, right? You said
Yeah.
very typical for that age generation. It might be a guide, it might be a relative that you guys have that's coming to visit you. I don't think it's harmful, and she
No.
couldn't have been that scared of it because she may have gotten nervous and kind of like went to you for protection, but she wasn't getting all upset and screaming and nervous or anything
No.
like that.
It just that it disappeared bothered her.
Sometimes that ability stays. Sometimes it'll stay around for a couple of years, and when they go to school,
Because
and
it's not socially acceptable.
it's more acceptable now. But yeah, we just
yeah.
don't talk about it. So in your family, it might be nurtured by you,
Nurtured, yeah.
but generally it's not. It's like, oh, imaginary playmate, it's only a kid. You know, that's what usually happens.
Yeah, I see my grandson, I see him looking, when he was a
Yeah.
baby, looking up
Yeah.
at something
Oh, yeah.
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 and laughing, you know, so
We,
somebody was
we
talking.
only have about 5
Yeah.
minutes.
I don't think we're going to get to the do's and don'ts, but I'd like to talk to
How do
people.
people use this to their maximum advantage?
Basically, keep the house clean. The energy in your house, you know, arguments with your spouse, your children, just your whole life will flow a little bit easier. I found utilizing some of these little hints that I'm going to tell you right now has brought me increased finances. Everybody wants that. Everybody needs that.
That's
First
how
of
they
all,
use it?
this is a money toad or a money frog. You have one there too, and it doesn't really need to be big, and it doesn't need to be gold. This is actually plastic. It was only about $5 or $10, and they have different sizes. I like the gold color ones on the money,
He's
but
on
it doesn't
coins.
matter, what it is. And he's got a coin in his mouth. And what you do is you place him next to your door. It doesn't matter what side. It should be on the side that opens out.
Outside
Not
door?
The outside door,
Okay.
going outside. And you put him facing in, always facing in. And the thing is, he goes out at night and brings back money. And I found that it's been able to, you know, it's just a little thing that has been able to keep the flow finances in my home very, very nicely. This other thing is a
stack of Chinese coins.
yeah, it's Chinese coins, and it represents heaven and earth. The little square in the middle is heaven, and because they believe that heaven is in the center of the earth, and the outside is earth. And you put this in, you can put this in every room, because Dragon Door Feng Shui works, room by room.
Instead of a
Instead of the whole
specific
house.
layout.
So you can put this on the far left when you're going into your room, the far left corner, and just hang it there. And it helps create the change in the energy. It helps increase your finances.
Now, I find it interesting that you would say that this would go into a particular location in the room.
It's the money corner.
Okay, and I remember that when you had your house set up, I guess it was the front door, the different quadrants of the house
Yeah,
would
but-
represent something.
Yeah.
The
Do they
houses we
correspond
have-
to the house as microcosm to the room?
Yes.
Yes.
That's
So that
same thing.
actually-
That's why the left-hand corner from when you walk
Yeah.
in the
So
door.
when you walk in the door, you go to the far left,
Right.
back
So
back
instead of a
left-hand corner, or
bagua,
left-
it's imposing the bagua or the pattern
Yeah.
within a room instead of for the whole house.
So you
Because our
should-
houses aren't laid out.
not
Suitably.
only each individual room,
You can
but
do
as
it
the
in-
house
yeah.
itself.
It
you
should be
have.
in the living quarters, living room.
Thank you.
But I tell people every room is fine.
Thank you for joining us
You're
and giving
welcome.
us
This
some
is fun.
hints. We probably could use a few more.
Okay.
So I hope you'll be back again soon.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us on Psychic Holistic Spotlight. Please come back again,
Thank you.
and
Go forth and prosper.
yes.
Yes.
Yes. Try to remember all the information you got today. And if there's just one thing you would like everybody to remember, what would that be?
Keep your house full of clutter. I mean, clear of
Free of clutter.
Your car too, because that makes a difference. You know, it crosses over too. you
Or
know.
just go
Yes.
buy a book on this and actually
Yeah.
read it, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're curious, get a book
Yeah.
and look into the
Some of them
lucky
are
cats.
So complicated though. Yeah.
Oh,
It
and
is and it isn't.
feel free to come to check on the kitties.
Kitties, Cat Adoption Team Services for anybody that is looking for a kitten.
Where do we?
We're a
How do
nonprofit.
we find them?
Cat Adoption Team Services, Cat Adoption Team Services. We're under Cat Adoption Team Services, and you can Google us. We're there, or you can give me a call. and we